Welcome to a review of the Sigma 85mm f1.4 lens. And yeah, today I've got this on the Nikon D850 lens with a 45.7 megapixel sensor. So we're making use of the pristine glass quality inside of this lens, just perfect for our test that we're going to do today. So we'll start off talking about a few of the specs of this lens. And this, like I say, is the 85 1.4 on the full frame D850, so it is 85 1.4. Its price is around £1,000, which is quite a lot, but it's a lot lower than Nikon's first party 85 1.4. The 1.4 is a ridiculously fast aperture and is perfect for getting some juicy bokeh and lets in an absolute ton of light. So I have my model here today, drinking some nice beer, and I'm going to take some photos of him and we'll see how the images look a bit later. So the first thing I think about this thing is it is absolutely enormous and really heavy. Now this is pretty standard for 85mm lenses. At f1.4 you'd sort of expect this kind of thing. But overall build quality is absolutely fantastic. Sigma is sort of renowned for having amazing build quality, and this certainly lives up to their fantastic standards. Alright, so on focusing for this thing. So this lens certainly lives up to the in-body focusing system inside the D850, and yeah, it's really fast getting on subjects and really accurate. And at f1.4 you want it to be really accurate, considering you have that really shallow depth of field, and it would be very noticeable if you were out of focus. So it's nice to have something that is extremely accurate and really fast to make your life a lot easier. And yeah, onto the main reason I think you'd get this lens, and that is the bokeh of it. And so like I've kept on reiterating about this thing, it does have the aperture of 1.4, which is so good and is pretty standard among the Sigma prime lenses. But yeah, when you shoot subjects like models like this, it's just insane how much bokeh you can get in the background, and thanks to the good focusing system, it's just so easy. And even compared to like a 1.8, this 1.4 is so much more blurrier in the background. This does have the HSM hypersonic motors, which basically means that their focusing system is not only fast and accurate, it's also quiet. And so, not that you're going to be doing much videoing on this thing, but if you need it to be quiet, like in something like a wedding, when you need to photograph, then it's perfect for sort of blending in and not making too much attraction to yourself. So I'm now going to go into Lightroom and show you some of the image quality that you can get with this thing, talk about things like aberrations, the fringing, and vignetting that you get. And yeah, we'll talk about that over there. Alright, so I have Lightroom open here with some of the photos I took on the D850 with the 85 1.4. So let's take a look at some of the image qualities that you can get with this. So of course it's going to be really sharp, considering you have a 45 megapixel sensor in the camera. But the lens obviously has to be sharp enough to fully utilize this resolution. And yeah, so zooming in really closely, it definitely does. Yeah, so zooming in right close, you can see that the sharpness is still there. The edges aren't soft at all at the point that's in focus. Now the one thing I can pick up with this is the amount of fringing you see in some of the edges. Now it does sort of vary what kind of edge it is. It's not all the edges. So around the Lumix logo right here on the camera in the photo, you can see that there's a very slight outline of purple, which is the fringing. And luckily fringing is something that you can get rid of in Lightroom by just dragging one of the options. But yeah, it's noticeable when you zoom in. So in terms of vignetting at f1.4, because it's an 85, it's not like a 20mm, you're not going to see that much vignetting. There is a noticeable, very small bit at f1.4. As you put up the f-stop, this is going to go down a little bit. But yeah, the vignetting is nothing that, number one, can't be corrected in post, and number two, it's not really anything to worry about, I wouldn't say. And a lot of the time you're going to put a vignette on your photos anyway. So yeah, one thing about the focusing system with this is, and also with its build quality, is the focusing ring is really nice and smooth. And it also sort of clips when you get to the infinity focus and the minimum focusing distance. And so when you can't really see what the focusing is, you can feel it in focusing ring, which is a really nice feature and the one thing that's really going to be useful when shooting at night. And so to conclude about this lens, this is an absolute beast, honestly. It's enormous. It's really, apart from a few minor imperfections in the image quality, overall it is a fantastically sharp lens. And yeah, so when you're shooting things like portraits and product photography, this lens is going to be frankly amazing for you, and I would definitely recommend this if product or portrait photography is something you're going to do.